I'm Kristy Aasheim, a top producing agent in North Dakota, and this show is all about learning from the best. Top producers, brokerage owners, and industry experts who have faced the challenges, put in the work, and climbed to greatness. Whether you're looking to sharpen your skills, gain new strategies, or even get inspired by the journeys of top agents, you're in the right place. Let's get started. I'm Kristy, and this is the Inner Circle Podcast, and we are here today with Miranda Baldridge. She is a broker at Advantage Real Estate in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I see also holding a license in Florida. Welcome, Miranda. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, Kristy. How are you?
I am doing great besides the 60-mile-an-hour wind going on today, but otherwise it is a fabulous day. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe outside of real estate?
All right, let's see. Outside of real estate, I did a 13-year career with the Federal Emergency Management Agency in Texas before I relocated to Alabama. I'm a mom of two adult daughters. My oldest one will be 25 in June. My youngest one will be 22 in August. Both of them are graduating college this week. My oldest one is in special needs teaching, and then my youngest one is in the medical field as an OR tech. And my oldest one is married, bought her first house 2 years ago. I'm married to a veteran. I've been married 15 years almost.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. It's fun to have adult kids have something new.
Oh, absolutely.
Having an empty house.
Yes.
I only have one gone right now, so it's already weird just having one of them gone. Still have two left. It's a weird transition we go through. But anyways, so as far as real estate, how many years ago did you get into the real estate?
I have been in real estate for almost 8 years now.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So quite a long time. What made you get into it? What happened? How did you find that path?
My husband and I actually opened a cleaning company in 2012, cleaning vacation rental properties on the beach. And I've always had a love of real estate. I can see the diamond in the rough. I see the potential. And one of the management companies that I worked with, actually, one of the ladies that was their quality control inspector, she and I became really good friends. Her and her husband own a brokerage. And that's where it all began.
Oh, awesome. Definitely. 2012, I didn't even realize that Airbnbs went back that far, but I guess I
Oh,
did
yeah.
live in that area.
Yep.
Really cool. As far as that goes, now did you start more with Airbnb clients, investors type when you were looking for homes?
No, believe it or not, I actually started, and I still do, a lot of first-time home buyers. I'm a little unorthodox in how I do my real estate business, but I don't chase the money, if that makes sense. I do sell condos. That's just not my number one marketing piece. I prefer single family.
Yeah, that's okay. Everybody needs a niche of what they're good at. And if you're good with first time home buyers, do that. That's totally fine. And I agree with don't chase the money. I feel like if you do your job well enough, the money comes to you. You don't really have to chase.
Absolutely. No, you don't.
No, I've always been really good about that. And when I used to manage agents with another broker, and that was my number one thing. They were like, oh, but this, but I'm like, don't worry about that so much. Let's just focus
Yeah.
on building your business and everything else
Mhm.
into place. To me, that's the most important piece is building your business more than the money, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So going into the business, what do you think? I know you're probably in a way different market than I am. You have the beach life. You're also into Florida. Are you
Mhm.
dealing with hurricane items as well on top of that?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're going into that, are you seeing like a flood of agents coming into your market?
It goes both ways. In my area in Alabama, we have about 3,500 agents just in our county alone.
Okay.
And some of them are successful and some are not, just like all markets. Some do business and some don't. I have noticed in my almost 8 years that a lot of agents get into real estate because they think it's easy. But it's an easy paycheck and it's lots of money, and it's not. It's not. Can you make a living? Absolutely. Is it hard? Yes.
Oh, for sure. I feel like people just see the glam part of it or something and see like dollar signs, and they have no idea what you all have to do to get to that point in your career, which does take time. And also it's expensive. You are your own business. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Agents are independent
Yep.
and we have to come up with all that money ourselves to do our business to make ourselves successful. And without it, you're nothing. I've had agents come in, they're like, okay, so when do I get my listing? I'm like, that's not the way it works.
That's not how it works.
Go find it. Yeah, it is a tough business. So with that said, what sets you apart? What do you do that you think that sets you apart, and how are you getting your clients now compared to maybe how you did when you first started?
I really haven't changed a whole lot from when I first started to now. I don't cold call. I don't like being cold called, so I'm not going to do that. I do direct mail. I do a lot of handwritten note cards. It's very time consuming, but it's worth it. I'm just very real. The way I dress on a daily is shorts and a t-shirt typically, and that's how I show properties. And it doesn't matter if it's $1 million condo or if it's a $300,000 house or it's a $200,000 mobile home. It's all the same. I'm just very real. I'm very honest. It's all about being trustworthy. I have a great team of partners that I work with as far as lenders and inspectors and all those things. I have a book of business that is full of vendors that I have done business with, or I have clients that have done business with them, or I know them personally. I'm just real. I don't have any other way to explain it.
No, I agree with that. That is a huge thing. And like you said, your vendor book. My clients, I think, count on that. If I don't have
Yes,
that, I'm not doing my job. And if I
correct.
don't know something, like sometimes something pops up you need and you don't know, I'm like, I have no idea what kind of contractor we'll need for that, but I will figure it out. Let me make some calls. You have to be that well-rounded person. And once you have that, your clients come to you and then slowly you get referrals off. So it just keeps happening.
Correct.
Which
Correct.
thank God for that, right? So if
Yes.
you're good and you're real, you're always going to have business, which is awesome. What do you say? I guess there's another piece to that too, is how do you run your daily business so that you are successful? So not so much the client end, but I mean, we're independent. We can't just sit on the couch and do nothing. How do you organize your day so you're successful?
I treat it like a job.
Easy as that.
It's that simple. I try to be in my office every day, at least 6 to 8 hours a day, sometimes more. Depends on what I got going on and what I'm doing. Time blocking. That's a huge piece for me. I say, okay, for this amount of time, I'm going to focus on social media and I'm going to schedule out all my social media posts. And then today I'm going to spend this block of time and I'm going to do nothing but content creation. So it's very time management heavy and you have to be organized.
No, I 100% agree with that because it's definitely hard. You get so busy with clients and then you get busy with the paperwork and then you have the social marketing piece, which is super important. And you're doing hand mailings, which is
Yes,
very time consuming. But I will say, I feel like a lot of that's coming back a little bit more.
it is.
No, I like getting real mail. If somebody mails me something and they spent a little time and wrote me a personal note, that means something more than the social marketing stuff or
Right.
I think that personalized touch is definitely a key in coming back. Do you do a lot of open houses?
No,
Okay. I'm not saying I do either. I'm not a
I used
firm
to.
believer in them anymore. I feel like they cause, sometimes we have nobody, sometimes we have somebody, sometimes we just have the neighbors. I'm in a different market. And plus, when people are living in it, I really don't like the concept of people being able to, I can't watch everybody at all times. I don't like that aspect, but that's just me personally. We're all different in that. But when I have done them, I like postcards. You take
Yes.
cards with you and you have them just
Mhm.
fill out their address and then you can send them a personalized note real quick on that and their address is already there. You're stamping them, you're putting them in the mailbox right after your open house. Sometimes
Yep.
your open house is quiet, you can do it right at the end. I know that's a good little tidbit, but for your social media, what all are you doing?
I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I've never really been much on the video side, but I'm shifting to adapt to the video. People have very short attention spans. They don't want to read big paragraphs and big posts, and not when they can watch a 2 or 3 second video and get an idea of what it is. So I'm starting to delve into the video realm. I do have a YouTube page, or channel rather, that I've actually started creating a podcast on. I've authored 2 books. That's kind of, I'm a little different. I got to be different when I've got 3,500 agents and you can stand in any part of our county and throw a rock and hit 15 of them in a stone's throw. So I've got to be very different. And sometimes that's hard.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with new technology and the younger generation, they grew up with all this, whereas we didn't. It didn't
No.
come until we were older. And I think
Mhm.
we even took longer to get into it because we're like, why do we need that? Just because it was not something we grew up with.
Right.
I don't think I started texting until my later 20s, like maybe 25.
Same.
Right? I'm like, why do I need to do that? Why? I just call them.
We had bag phones and
Yep.
the big Nokias and the flip phones, and we didn't have predictive text. We had that came along later with T9, and we didn't have touchscreen phones. And so, yeah, it's been a learning curve for many.
Right. And now I feel like all of it's going to video. And I get
Yes.
it. I enjoy the quick video on something or I would rather not read how to put something together. I'd rather watch how to put something.
Right.
So I think
Right.
we as agents all have to kind of get that going and just get out of the mindset that it's hard or look at me, I'm not wearing the right shirt. Oh, look at my hair. I can't do this. Oh my gosh, my voice. I don't like, we got to get out of that and get out of our head. Because
Yeah, for sure.
honestly, nobody cares.
No, they don't.
Content. They want to know.
And it allows people to see that real side of you, which is where you attract the business. And because people do business with the people that they like, know, and trust. And if they can have that kinship and you can draw them in, they want to know more. They want to get to know you. They want to help you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And it's okay if everybody doesn't like you. You're always going to have the haters, and that's okay because
It's true.
we all have different people that connect with our personality, and that's okay too.
Yes.
Just one of those things we have to adapt to.
Yes, very much.
So you did say you wrote 2 books. Tell me about them.
I wrote one for first-time home buyers. It's called Keys to Confidence. It goes step by step through credit, lending, debt to income ratio, all the things that a first-time home buyer needs to know to feel confident and comfortable in what they're doing and their decisions. And it guides them through the process from getting pre-qualified to looking at houses to how do I narrow it down? And I've got 50 houses that I've looked at. How do I decide which one is the one? It's like ladies in their wedding dresses. You just know when it's just a feeling. It's hard to describe. But there are little tips and tricks in there to tell you how to narrow it down. And then I wrote another one that is called Sold and Settled, and it's for sellers. And there's a lot of sellers on the market, especially right now with interest rates and things, and they're not necessarily priced the right way. They want to sell and they want to sell quick, but they're scared on where to price it. Am I pricing it too low? Am I pricing it too high? So I wrote Sold and Settled for those people to kind of help guide them on pricing strategies, showings, comps, that sort of thing. So they're both available on Amazon.
Oh, wonderful. I'll have to take a look at those for sure. I'm all about reading everybody else's stuff, see if there's any tips. There's always something we can learn in real estate, as we know. I learn something new every day.
Absolutely. And there's no secrets in real estate. There's really not.
No, it's just standing out and learning and growing, and don't always have an answer. It's okay to say,
Right.
I don't know, but I'll try to find the answer for you.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big thing that we as agents have to do. And the ones that
Yes.
are answering the question, that's the ones that are getting in trouble with it.
Yes.
For sure. So also your podcast. Now, what is your podcast looking like on your YouTube channel?
I've only done a couple of episodes so far because it's new, And of course, life happens, life happens, but it is Gen X Southern roots and real estate. It's where Gen X meets real estate. And I throw in some Gen X nostalgia, metal slides, merry-go-rounds, latchkey kid stuff, things that we did growing up that the generations coming up will never experience.
Right.
So I wanted something fun that I could be real, that I didn't have to feel like in my mind that I had to present this certain persona. So I was like, how can I make it fun? Well, let me throw some Gen X in here.
Oh,
So it's been fun. It's been fun.
that's good. Definitely worth watching. We'll make sure everybody gets that link so they can go check you out. So you better get some more made. That's for sure. There's tons of Gen X stuff out there that our kids have no idea.
Oh yeah, no clue.
No, they really don't. So one thing I like to ask everybody is, what are some, whether it's an embarrassing moment in showings, listings, or just some funny stories, because we're working with people all day. There's always something that happens either in a showing or even something you've done on accident. Sorry, I like to keep it fun too.
We have to, because sometimes there's enough depressing, sad things in the world. We need lots of fun and laughter.
Yeah.
I was actually showing some condos over in Florida. This actually happened a couple months ago. Gentleman that I'd been talking to, I talked to his dad about selling some property. Dad changed his mind. Son calls me, says, hey, I want to buy over here. Let's go look at some properties. If you're free, sure, no problem. Being a beach market, they're on rental programs. I, as the buyer's agent, assume that the listing agent has informed all the appropriate parties that we're going to be showing property. If it's not blocked off, to me, that says it's not rented, there's no guest, or the guest is okay with us being there. They're aware of it. So I walk up to the door, enter the door code, open the door. And as I'm opening the door, I always yell, hello, realtor, anybody here? And as I'm opening the door and beginning to yell, there are two women sitting on the couch from England, and they about had heart attacks. I about had a heart attack. It was awful. We all laughed about it, of course, but that's quite normal. I've walked in properties that have been vacant for some time, that have had squatters at some point. Luckily, I've never walked in on anybody that was like squatting in a property or anything like that. I have had a couple of strange people that I've showed homes to that they were just them. They weren't strange themselves. The situation was strange. I tend to not park my car in a driveway. I'll park on the side of the street. I always think about the things that could happen, because there are so many realtors that have been injured or killed or whatever on showings, and the world's scary. So I was actually showing a local property down in Gulf Shores, and a gentleman had called, was like, hey, I want to see this property. My wife and I are going to come take a look. If you're available to show, sure, no problem. So I went in, and unfortunately that property, I had to pull in the driveway. I had no other option. So I went in, unlocked all the doors, got everything ready, turned on all the lights. They drive up. Gentleman gets out of the driver's side, passenger side door opens, and I'm assuming it's the wife. No, it's another male friend. And I'm like, oh, that's because you told me you were bringing your wife, and now you've got another guy friend with you. Okay, no big deal. I don't walk in front of people. I walk behind. I follow them into rooms. I don't go upstairs with people. I don't go in basements, which we don't really have basements here, but I'm very cautious in how I show property, especially to strangers and people that I don't know. And luckily, there was a gentleman that lived down the street that I knew. He was actually one of my daughter's soccer coaches, out walking his dogs. And we were standing in the front yard, and one of the gentlemen had made a comment to me about me being a single woman by myself and showing property to strangers. And by this time, I'm out in the front yard. I've already locked the house up. I've already everything. And the coach walks by, and he hollers and waves at me, and he's got his dogs, and he dipped behind a bush to wait and watch. And when this guy asked me that question, it made me really uncomfortable because I'm like, what's the ulterior motive? And there's two of you and one of me. And I said, you don't know me. And it's probably best that we end this conversation. I said, y'all have a good day. If you want to buy the property, feel free to give me a call and we'll go from there. And he said, but how do you protect yourself? And I said, why would you be asking? I said, you have no idea what I have on my person because I do conceal carry. It is legal in my state. It is actually legal to open carry in my state. But as a small statured woman, I would never open carry, but I do conceal carry just for my own safety.
Yeah.
I've never had to use it. I pray to God I never have to, but I have that extra protection in the event that I need to.
No, you have to. Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
I always said we called it Pop-Tart agents that would just, the phone would ring. They didn't even get their full name and they're running to a vacant property.
No.
That's scary.
It is scary.
And I live more in a rural area. So a lot of the people I already know, like I don't even have to worry about it. Now
Right.
I have to have signed forms and things like that. So it's a little bit different. But I use Forewarn. I check out these people before. And if it doesn't come up in Forewarn, I'm like, oh, that could be a burner. Who is this person? Especially, and I do a lot of commercial. Vacant, middle north. People aren't going there. I mean,
absolutely.
I could be there rotten for days and days. So you really do have to pay attention and vet people and pay attention to your surroundings. And yeah, if there's a neighbor, that's great.
I always make sure that if my husband doesn't go with me, he knows where I am, knows what time I'm showing. We have Life 360 on our phones. I always make sure that an agent in my office knows where I'm showing, especially if it's something that I've got an uneasy feeling about, or they'll just meet and go with me.
Yep. I would do the text message. Okay, everything's fine.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, good. But yeah, you have to definitely protect yourselves. I think a lot of people forget about that part, that especially when we're a woman and we're out in social media, they can see us all day. They know what we look like, what we're doing. They know they can trap us. So it's
absolutely
protect ourselves. But no, anyway, I don't really have anything else for you today, but I really appreciate you coming on with us today. And please let us know what your handles are for Facebook, LinkedIn. What do you got? So everybody can reach out and like your page.
All right. Hold on. I got to pull my notes up. There's so much rolling around in my head. I can't keep it all straight most of the time.
Oh, I totally.
My Facebook is Gulffront Properties. My Instagram is Miranda.broker_advantage.re. My TikTok is Miranda.Baldridge. And my YouTube is at Miranda Baldridge.
Wonderful. Thanks, Miranda. I really appreciate it today. And I hope you have a wonderful week.
Absolutely. You too, Kristy. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of the Inner Circle podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and took away some valuable insights to help you along your real estate journey. If you found today's episode helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop me a comment below with your biggest takeaway or any questions you might have. And if you know someone who would benefit from this conversation, share this episode with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Inner Circle.